Well, let's talk a little bit about the AWS Academy Cloud Architecting course. Okay, so this is one that I use for an entire semester, and I put a couple extra assignments in and a group project. So with the group project, I usually do that in the Learner Lab, just because the Learner Lab I have access to has more features. So once again, I go into the settings, and you can see I've made all of these invisible. So that's just settings, navigation. There's a few extra like discussion. So I do that in case someone drops the class. I just don't have to worry about removing them because they can't see the other people in the class There's a couple reasons I might do that. So that they can't see who's in the class here, but they can see it in the other canvas. And I don't have to keep up to date as much. Since it is manual, I have to update this manual. I have to add people manually. This also does not sync grades down to my canvas. So I have to go to the grades here and pull things up into mine. Now what I do, so that I know if they've done it on time and I have a record in my canvas, is I usually have them include a screenshot or two to prove that they've done certain things or the points that they got. And then I can come in here and I can check it. So if they just grab a screenshot off the internet, I can see here if they've done it, and I can have a talk to them about cheating. Those are not fun conversations. Please don't do it. But the cool thing is with this class is it has a lot of good modules and a lot of good labs. The labs are graded, except for one. There's one that's listed as an optional lab in module, I want to say it's 8. Anyway, 7 or 8. So you have guided labs, which are step-by-step. You have challenge labs that are not, and they're based upon a fictitious environment setup thing. I think it's module 9. No. So guided lab, challenge lab. So there is, I can't remember where that's at. There's an optional lab in here, but the rest of these are all graded. So you can actually see how far along students got. It's in the grades. You can go ahead to the grade section and you can look at the logs of their environment. You can help reset their environment from there. So I wanted to talk to you about one issue that I've had in this course. There is a capstone project. And that capstone project, the stuff stays around except for it shuts down the EC2 instances. Well, it just so happens that's in 14. Oh, it's the microservices that has the 15th. I'm going to take a step back. 13 is the one that has the optional lab right here. Breaking a monolithic Node.js. So this is a challenge for a lot of students. And this one does not count towards their badge, from my understanding. But the others, I think, do. But in 15, there's a capstone project. If they start this capstone project and then they shut it off so they can think and stuff, this takes a lot of time. And if they start at the beginning of the course, it does reserve things that will charge them even when everything else is shut down, like elastic IP addresses and stuff. And it can quickly run out of funds. So do not let them start this. Tell them not to start it. I don't know if maybe I should just hide it in the future. But it hasn't been that big of an issue. But I have had that happen. A student started it to try and see what it was like. I mean, you can come in, you can look at this stuff, but they actually started the lab. Once you start the lab, then you're starting to get billed no matter what. So I'm seeing this from an instructor view. Showed that a little bit. I'm going to get into the student view. So you can see the capstone stuff without starting it. So, but the moment they start it, they're going to start to get billed and they're going to start to lose funds. So right here, this is what they can see once without starting it, without losing funds. And it has a general idea of the project, scope of the requirements, but they need to do a lot for this. So once you start the lab, it starts to bill you. Just be careful. So besides that, I don't usually have many problems in this class. Just the general not logging out, but that is the only one that I usually have them run out of funds on is the capstone. It's only they only run out of funds for the capstone. They usually don't run out of funds for the course. You can ask for help to get that extended, but it takes time, and usually by time a couple days that they get it done, it's too late. It's past the due date in my area, so I do require them to have it by a certain time. So that's one of the problems is if you have to extend it and it takes a couple days, and that's when you want to work on it, well, that's a pain. So once again, this does have a badge. You get it credibly. It has certification resources. I think you can get a discount for your students. I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to start pushing some of my students to consider it. If they do good on the final I have for this class is pretty difficult. So if they do well in the final, I'm going to encourage them, say, if you've got above this, consider getting certified. But I think you can get a discount for that. Besides that, you just get the normal badge. So once again, credibly.com is where you go to get their badges. And at the dashboard, this one is graduate of cloud architecting. And then if they get certifications for this, that it would be the architect associate certification. So I'm going to have to renew mine sometime this year if I want to keep it. And I kind of do. So we'll have to see. I'm doing a lot of other certifications. I keep forgetting that that's expiring. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Let's go over the modules really quick. I think that would be good. So the first couple don't have labs, and they're kind of an introduction. Then you get to S3, and there's a lab there, computing layer, EC2. Databases, creating database, that's always great, and of course VPC. So you can see that as it progresses, securing user access, high availability monitoring, automating your architecture. I do ask my students to try and do cloud formation templates in their projects, but I have yet to get one. So it's one of those ones where I try and stretch them to get there, but that's hard for most students. Caching content, building decoupled architectures, and microservices, and then of course disasters. So it goes through pretty good. Great content. I really like this course. My students really like this course. So I hope you've enjoyed this. There is instructor materials, but I'm not going to share those. If you do this course, you can kick it out. If you're interested in being in AWS Academy, and if you don't know how, feel free to send me a message. I'll try and help get you started there, as long as you're a higher education institution. So, talk to you later.